She instantly said, I'm calling CPS because she automatically assumed that that black woman was probably a bad mother.
Pascal.
There has been
now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.
There has been another sighting of a quote-unquote Karen, okay? There was a Karen found in a Louisiana park. What's interesting is that this mother is protecting her children because her children are getting attacked by this Karen's kids, okay? So we're going to show you guys the video. I'm not going to show you the entire thing because it's a fairly long video, but you get to see the meat and potatoes. I'm going to show you the bulk of it, not the last half because it's just this woman, the mother, right, defending her children who were attacked by this Karen's kids, okay? She kind of goes into a little bit of a rant in explaining, of course, what has happened. But this is crazy because this particular quote-unquote Karen, this particular woman right here, which I'm about to show you right about now, right off the bat, as she comes up to defend herself, to defend her children that were just attacked by this particular woman's kids, this birthday squad shirt wearing woman threatens to call the Child Protective Services on this woman solely because she's defending her black children from this woman's racist ass kids. Let's take a look at this video.
Yeah, and I'll have call CPS.
Call CPS. It's turd.
Did you just
Can
hear
you
him
do
say,
that?
hey, black
Get out of my
people?
face.
Your kids just
You
said,
hear him
hey,
say
black
black
people in
people?
front of us.
Get out of my face.
Fuck
Before
your
I
face.
call
Can
the
you
cops.
Call him.
What are you going to call them for?
You want the
Get out of
phone?
my face.
What are you going to call?
You want the
Fuck
phone?
your boss.
Call him.
Wow, your boys need to stop calling my kids black people and turds in the toilet. Teach them manners. I'm going to protect my kids. I'm going to protect my kids. Teach your kids not to talk to black people
Get
any
out of
kind of
my
way.
face.
I'm not in your face. I'm telling you to correct your children because I'm protecting mine as well.
Yeah, and I'll have call CPS.
Call CPS. Call CPS. Your kids are racist and so are you. Correct?
Okay, real quick. I'm just curious. Who calls Child Protective Services on a woman who is protecting her kids? Who is protecting her own kids? So now this woman has the audacity to sit there and go, well, I'm calling CPS on you. What did this woman do? Let's continue.
Protect them. Teach them how to act in public. Because ever since we walked up,
We're going home.
please take them home. As soon as we walked up, you guys be calling us turds. You tell your kids to have respect. Turds in the toilet. Hey, black people. Hey, black people.
We're black and we're proud, and we love it. We're black and proud. Tell your children that. Tell your kids that. Black and proud. Black and proud. Black and proud. Look at him. Black and proud. Black and proud. Yes, we're black people, and we love it.
You shut up. Racist ass kids. No manners. Turds, black people. Please teach your kids some manners next time. Because that is rude. Ever since we walked up.
No apology, no nothing.
Disgusting. Come on, y'all. Gonna tell me get out of her face like I'm not supposed to protect my kids too. You're black and you're beautiful. Believe that.
Look at the beautiful kids. Beautiful kids, man. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Hold on. Unbelievable.
Come on. You're black and beautiful. Believe it. I just said that.
I can't believe that shit's still happening.
Me too.
Literally, you guys, we're literally over here taking pictures because I'm doing a campaign for a company and I'm literally taking pictures with my innocent children. Literally, we've been here for like 15 minutes ever since we walked up. These kids been running around us saying, get in the picture, and then calling us like turds in the toilet. We should have brought out turds. Literally, running around my kids. What he say?
He said, hey, black people.
Yeah, you running around my kids calling them turds. I'm just peacefully taking a picture. I walk up to their mother and I walk up to their mom and I say, can you please teach your kids respect because they are disrespecting my kids, calling them turds and black people. And she's like screaming at me, get out of my face! Get out of my, what? That is so, I'm literally shaking.
So, there you have it, y'all. There's that video. I mean, there's more of her just in the car, relieving the frustration on camera with the people who are watching her. I'm assuming she's like streaming live and whatnot. But here it is. That woman was literally taking photos with her kids, taking photos for some sort of campaign, some sort of ad campaign, whatever. She was sitting there chilling, taking photos with her kids. Then all of a sudden, these kids, these white kids come over, all right, and start saying, hey, black people, calling them turds. Now, it's funny because as much as you think, whoa, that's a who has ever been called a turd, that is, how do I explain this? Those kids are not alone. That's all I'll say. I've heard everything under the sun. You know what I mean? I've been called everything except a child of God, to be really honest, when it comes to racist people, okay? But it's been a long time since I've heard turd. Not gonna lie. It's been a long time. I remember hearing that when I was a child, swimming at public pools, etc., and kids sitting there saying those words, saying, "Oh, look at those turds in the water." White kids saying that to me and my family as we're enjoying our time at the pool. I thought it was like an old thing that just didn't exist. Like that was just an old thing, right? But that really is still a term that kids are using, apparently. I thought that was like an old phrase. But once I heard that took me back all the way back to when I was a kid. And kids that would sit there and say that to me and my siblings. It's terrible. And the fact that those kids are saying it like that makes you realize, especially when they're young, makes you realize that their kids, or their parents, are saying exactly those things to those kids. They're not learning this from social media. They're learning it from their own damn parents. Then all of a sudden, the mother goes up to confront the Karen, the quote-unquote Karen, and this particular woman has the audacity to say, I'm going to call CPS on you, Child Protective Services on you, because you're getting in my face because of what my children did. Instead of going up to that woman, that black woman, and that black family and saying, I'm so sorry, and whooping those snotty ass kids, she says that instead. Oh, and the husband doesn't do a damn thing. You saw the big old dude get in that family minivan. He didn't do nothing either. With a sweaty ass back. Didn't even do a damn thing. This takes me back to that Walmart Karen that accused that man of stealing her son's iPhone, only to find out that her son left it in the car and she just said F you and walked off. What are these particular people teaching their children? They're not taking any accountability. They're not taking any responsibility for what they have done, for what those kids have done. You're not reprimanding them. You're not doing anything. You're just defending them and saying you're going to call CPS on a black couple who's defending their kids. Actually, they should be calling Child Protective Services on yo ass. That's what I think. T, I'm going to throw it over to you this time. What are your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, I watched this video probably a couple of days ago, and it's like you just said. I mean, there is definitely a lack of accountability. There is there the conscious, logical, critical thinking is not being displayed at all. Um, we're just seeing someone's subconscious um, come out, and it's unfortunate because people are, I guess you could say, hoarding negative imagery of black people in their minds, and it's corrosive because they're just ticking time bombs and they're just waiting for any kind of interaction to happen, and they are spewing out who knows how long, decades or years of just hate and bias and prejudice and just really just pain. I mean, they're in pain. There's really no place for love there, and they're projecting all their negative energy and emotions onto someone totally innocent and someone totally foreign to them. You know, they're strangers. So it's this is the issue that's happening over and over because people are not getting help for their own personal beliefs, and they're allowing their and the worst part is they're allowing these beliefs, these ideologies, to be passed down to their children, who are very impressionable, and children's actions are typically based off learned behavior, and they are learning from their parents, their household. Um, their household is going to dictate how they respond to the world, to society. And what we're seeing here is a bunch of people who are just at a point in their life where, and I'm not sure why this happened, but they're at a point in their life where they are at their lowest socially in the public, and they're placing their blame, any kind of blame, onto other people who look a certain way. And it seems like it's mostly people who are black who are getting 95% of the time the brunt of this Karen attack, unfortunately.
David.
Yeah, unfortunately, I kind of said this before, but I think this is just going to get worse. I mean, we are seeing, especially with the Karens over the past 2 or 3 years, they're getting more aggressive, and they seem to be supported by more people. But I think this is the trend that we're going to continue to see for a long time, to be honest. It was in 2014 that we started to see race relations starting to go downhill for the first time in a long time. If I remember the numbers right, it was like 40% of people, or no, 60% of people, white people, thought that race relations were okay, and 70% of black people, is that the right number? Let me think again. Yeah, 70% of black people thought race relations were mostly okay. But if you look at it now, it's almost like 10 to 15% for both groups that think race relations are okay now. So the vast majority think like issues between the races are becoming more severe. And I mean, if people are thinking that, they're more likely to act that way. And I have mentioned this before. I do expect this to continue. I think it will probably continue to at least 2028 to continue to get worse. Because, I mean, we're going to see repercussions from the previous election for a long time. I mean, you see that with the trolls that we get, kind of.
Oh, dear God, yeah.
BLM and you know, politicians have kind of co-opt the like entire black population to represent them as democratic. And as you're seeing with more conservative people, especially in segregated areas, they're buying this completely. They're completely. They don't see a distinction between the BLM organization and black people. They see them as the same thing. And I mean, even though on the right as well, BLM has lost massive support. It's less than what was it? Less than 44% now, and the people who are actively against it are like 41%. Whereas if you look at it about, say, just before, what's the guy's name? the man that was shot in the back that had was taking the children. After that, we started to see it get really bad. BLM has largely been abandoned by the left,
Jacob
and
Blake.
even the people on the right that supported it, which wasn't a lot, but there was a notable group, about 30% of people on the right supported it. That's gone. Right now, it seems like everyone on the right sees BLM as a political power of the left, and they see everyone that's black as part of BLM. So I expect this to continue to get worse. I think the next election will swing back towards one way or the other, depending on the candidates we get. But I mean, this is going to continue to get worse, especially as we become more and more partisan and less likely to work across the board. And we're seeing this with the Republican Party as well, in that they are weaponizing this to some degree. Not all of them, but the majority of the ones in the higher ranks are weaponizing basically BLM and black people as part of the threat of the communist left. And that's the way people are starting to see it, I think. And that's why we're seeing more and more violence. And I do think, like I said, I think it's going to peak probably around 2028, but it might get worse. I'm hoping I'm wrong. But based on the back and forth we've had since Obama was elected, and how much more and more radical partisans are becoming on both sides, I think this will continue to get worse. I mean, it's been a while now, but you know, when a lot of the BLM protests were going on, I mean, you saw how popular racism was becoming on the left, because they would find black conservatives and they would scream all those words that they can't say to a black liberal because they're conservative, so they're not really a black person. That was a thought that was going around quite a bit amongst white leftists. So I do think, unfortunately, that due to our current politics, black people will be more dehumanized over the next, say, 7 or so years, and hopefully at some point we can turn that around, but I do expect it to continue to go downhill for a while. Yeah,
I mean, you know, you spot out a lot of you know, interesting points there, David. Yeah, we do live in a time now more than ever. I mean, not really now more than ever. I feel like it's just been the same. I feel like it's the same stuff, and we've just been sweeping a lot of things under the rug. You know, we're not acknowledging and noticing the elephant in the room until most recently. It's gotten even worse since 2016. Let's just be real. It's just gotten even worse because somebody decided to rip the Band-Aid off and point out the elephant in the room, or at least be a representative of that elephant in the room. Because there has been, I mean, even during the Obama era, okay, there has been a lot of this going on. Now that we have phones, now that we have easy access to internet, and there's social media platforms out here where things are readily available at our fingertips, we're seeing these things more and more every day now. Every single day. And that's what's so, I mean, it's frustrating, but these are the breaks. This is the truth. America is extremely, I mean, as much as some politicians would sit there and say, oh, no, America's not racist. No, it most definitely is. It's been racist since the dawn of America. Has not changed. Yes, we have had some things happen. There is more integration. There's more, people getting along, and giving peace a chance. But at the same time, there's still a lot of people out here that feel exactly how that specific woman who said, I'll call CPS on you, they feel exactly how she feels. That doesn't matter. You have a beautiful black family that's sitting there, taking photos, minding their own business in a park, minding their own business. And there are people out here that have been laying dormant for a long time that now suddenly feel that, hey, now everything's okay for me to speak out. It's okay for me to speak my mind now. It's okay for me to be a jerk. It's okay for me to go and call these kids, these beautiful black kids, turds. If things were a little bit different, and if we went after things a little bit differently, this country, and if things actually really did fully 110% change, then those kids would not be going up to those kids saying, hey, black people, oh, here are these turds. They'd be coming up to them saying, hey, you want to play catch? You want to go play freeze tag? Something like that. It would be a completely different thing. But unfortunately, we live in this world right now, and we've been living in this world for a long time. It's been out here since the dawn of man. Racism is real, and it's still out here, and no matter how many ways we chop it up and flip it and smack it up and flip it and rub it down, it's still here. Because there's other people out here that are planting those racist seeds in their kids' minds so that when they grow up, they pass that on to their seed, to their children. This is a generational issue. This is not just a waking up one day, turning on the TV, and suddenly, oh, racism is instilled in their brains. No. It all starts at home. It all starts at home. And if the kids are sitting there saying that, you most definitely better be 110% sure that it's being said by the parents too. And that's where they're getting it from. And this particular woman that didn't even bother to say, I am so sorry for what happened, says a lot, because it seems like there's an ongoing theme going on where people don't give two damns about other people's feelings. The decency of being a human being. Oh, actually, let's not forget about this. The accountability, being an adult and taking responsibility for something that has gone wrong. Now, once did that woman say that she was sorry? She instantly said, I'm calling CPS, because she automatically assumed that black woman was probably a bad mother. Instantly, she's thinking, oh, her husband's probably a thug. They probably smoke crack at home and shoot up heroin and do all this crazy stuff. They probably abuse those kids. Those kids probably don't even eat. Those malnourished black children. I'm calling CPS on you because I instantly know that you probably do not raise your children right. The hell is that? Instead of just saying, I am so sorry. Kids, we're going home. We're going to talk about this, whatever. She could take responsibility for what her kids said, but she doesn't. Those kids are going to see that, and they're going to continue thinking that way. They're going to continue thinking that it's okay for them to speak that way. And then guess what? Those kids are going to have kids. And the saga will mother love and continue. And that is sad.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.